Kelphites. They're probably the worst task you could possibly get. They drop nothing useful. That's assuming that you're killing the level 85s or the level 22s in the Kelphite lair. You could always go and be a boss and kill the Kelphite Queen 170 times, and you get a hell of a lot of Slayer XP while you're doing that, but the average Joe isn't going to be willing to do that. They aren't boss enough. So anyways, with Kelphites, they're good XP, there's no money involved, so if you're kind of into power slaying and getting your Slayer XP lightning fast, but also sometimes losing money, do your Kelphites. If you want to make money and not lose money on tasks, just skip the Kelphites. Living rock creatures, what I'm doing right now, they are very profitable. I make about 700k per task, but that's if you mine the living rock or living minerals. If you don't mine the living minerals, the profit drops staggeringly to about 100 or 200k. You need 73 mining to mine the living minerals, and each of the living minerals is worth about 200 GP. So they're a good task to do, and also besides the fact they're incredibly fast XP too, because each of them has a staggering amount of HP. And also, there's two types of the living rock creatures. The living rock strikers, and hey, come back here. Okay, there he is. Right there. Living rock protectors. I'd personally kill the strikers primarily because they're better XP and they have slightly better loots. What you will see occasionally is something called a living rock patriarch. The patriarch spawns about every hour and a half or 2 hours, and if you kill it, you automatically get 200k. Next up is Mithril Dragons. I'd only recommend you do Mithril Dragons if you're either a boss at melee and have super anti-fire potions, or your range level's over 80. If you're going to try and kill them with 70 range, don't even bother. It's going to be a slow process. You might get the Dragon Full Helm, but the chances of that are about 1 in 7,000, as illustrated by the famous YouTuber SoSolid2KK. If you're focused on XP, totally avoid Mithril Dragons. If you're into profit and don't mind losing a bit of XP, or not earning as much XP during an assignment, then go ahead and do them. They're relatively profitable, and you could get the Dragon Full Helm, which is quite a bit of money, about 30 mil or 40 mil. Mutated Jadinko, and yeah, it doesn't say which kind, so that just says mutated Jadinkos in general. So I'm going to assume what that means is that it means the different kinds of them, like the babies, the guards, and the males. If you get the babies, they're easy to kill. They don't drop that much, that's good, but they do drop mutated vines and essecrants. When you get a large number, when you acquire a large number of the essecrants and the mutated vines, you can combine them into something called bolas, which are currently worth about 700 GP, and you can sell them. So mutated Jadinko babies aren't that bad for money, and they're good XP because they're weak. Again, you will need 80 Slayer for that. The next brand of mutated Jadinkos is the whoa, really tripping over my words. Mutated Jadinko guards, and they require 86 Slayer. And again, they drop the horrifically crashing whip vine, which you can attach and boost your whip by a staggering 2 strength and 4 slash. And you get the special attack. I think it was SoSolid2KK again who demonstrated with a chaotic maul that you can hit up to 4,800 with it by hitting 3 different people in Castle Wars with boosted, making it so that each vine hits 188. So I'm going to go back to Slayer and not get distracted talking about how awesome SoSolid2KK is. The last kind of Jadinko you get is the mutated Jadinko males, and they drop elite clue scrolls. They're relatively strong of high defense. And again, for the two higher types of mutated Jadinko assignments, I highly recommend you do them. And what will happen is while you're killing them, you'll get something called favor points. And what you can do with favor points, which is cool, is you can go up near the very sexy Jadinko queen, and there's an offering table, and you can go to it and demand that you get fruit from it. It'll cash in your points, and you'll get fruit, which heal you about the same as monkfish. And that way you can continue and do your summit for a while. Range and melee both work very effectively against the Jadinkos. Or range and melee both work very effectively. Don't mage. People have tried and it just doesn't work out too well. Next up on my list is Necreals. Now, Necreals are a very good task, except you will have to compete a little bit with bots. Nowhere near as bad as Black Demons. because Necreals require Slayer, so that kind of hinders all the bots from going there. But you're still going to encounter bots when you're doing it. However, if you go to a world that's mostly full, there won't be very many bots on it, surprisingly. Bots usually conjugate on worlds with less people. So anyway, Necreals are a good blend of fast XP and money. They give you rune full helms, adamant plate legs, various other rune items, as well as infernal ashes, and clue scrolls. They drop clue scrolls very frequently, almost rivaling how fast hellhounds drop them. Yeah, just to update quick about hellhounds up here is that hellhounds drop their clue scrolls are one of the fastest clue scroll droppers in the game. Next up is skeletal wyverns. Most people think that they're not that profitable, but they actually are because their bones are worth quite a bit. They give slightly more XP than dragon bones, so they're valued even higher at about 5 or 6k. Additionally, they drop granite plate legs, and most people don't know this, but they also drop the visage, just like black dragons. And they also drop lots of clue scrolls, so they're a very good monster to do. However, the XP might be a bit lacking. They're similar to dragons, however they have icy breath, so you will need an elemental shield. If you bring an anti-fire shield, you will die, so don't bring one. Bring, the best shield you can bring right now is the Chaos Shield, but you will need to complete Elemental Workshop 3 in order to use that. Next is spiritual mages. You can find them in the God Wars dungeon. Again, when you're doing spiritual mages, what you will want to do is you want to bring 4 different god items while you're going there, so that you're not swamped by all the monsters and you die. So what I usually bring is I bring an Armatil Mitre, and that goes over your head. Then I bring a Saradomin Stole. I wear Bandos chestplate, and then I bring Zamorak Chaps. However, you need 60 prayer in that, but there's lots of substitutions. Like, for example, for Zamorak, you can wear an Unholy Symbol, and for Saradomin, you can wear a Holy Symbol, or for Armadil, what you can wear is you can wear any kind of crossbow. So, for example, Bronze Crossbow works just fine. Next up is Steel Dragons. They're slightly better than Iron Dragons for money, slightly better XP, but still, if you're focused on getting fast Slayer XP, avoid them. If you're focused on money, go right ahead. Sakwas, very weird name, and they're just as useless as strange their name is sounding. You can find them on the Lunar Isle. It's that moon-shaped piece of rock land by the Fremenique place. And the Sakwas don't really drop that much. However, if you completed the Fairy Tale Part 3, Battle at Orc's Rift, then they will drop teeth, which you can give to the Tooth Fairy and Zenaris for 2k each. So if you completed the Fairy Tale Part 3, they become fairly profitable to do in a decent task. And again, they're pretty fast to kill. However, you'll want to attack the ones with a blue shield, because the ones for red shield will ice barrage you and you will die. So just hang out right by the astral altar and kill them. Next is Terror Dogs. You will need to complete a short mini quest called Lair of Tarn Razorlock. Terror Dogs drop level 3 clues very quickly. They don't have very much besides that, but they're also fast XP. One bad thing is that they hit very high on you. So if you have a low defense, or you don't like clue scrolls, or both, avoid them. But if you're really focused on getting fast XP and you don't really mind tanking lots of damage, then go ahead and do them. Next is Tizar. They have a fairly decent drops, however lots of the drops have crashed. Like Obsidian Cape is only 20k now, even though in the past it was about 300k. This is from a massive influx of bots heading over there and killing them. If you do Tizar, you're going to have to compete with lots of bots who are fighting it. So if you're a low-level person, like below 100 for instance, you might have difficulty keeping up with the bots, in which case I wouldn't recommend you do it. Next is the Tizar Fight Cave creatures. If you have a high range level, go on right ahead. This will be a very fast task, and it will be a good source of income. If you want, you can go all the way through, like with the Slayer challenge here, with Kuradel, and you can get a massive 25k for killing TzTok-Jad. Next is Warped Tortoises. You'll need to complete the quest Path of Glue-Free in order to do these. They're fairly decent. You can get tortoise shells very frequently. They're about 10k each. And you can sell them with a G almost immediately for that price. They're not crashing or anything. They're very stable because people need war tortoises. Warped Tortoises also drop rune pickaxes, noted coal, noted mithril, kind of similar drops as the living rock creatures in general. And they're fast XP, they're fast to kill, and they're good profit. So if you get the task, don't cancel it and go do it. Next is Water Fiends. They are the fastest source of Crimson Charms behind Ice Barraging. So I recommend you do your Water Fiend assignment. Just make sure you bring along a Crush Weapon